What's happening? What's happening with it? Yeah, y'all already know what it is. You tuned in to another episode of Everything Boxing. There you go, talking that boxing again. What's happening with y'all? Salute to everybody that's in the building. We definitely finna cook today. Let me see who we got in the building. Like I said, when y'all come in the building, make sure that you jump in the comments. Let me know that y'all in the comments. I ain't gonna be on here for too long. I ain't feeling too well, but you know, we definitely gonna get it in. Al Booger, what's happening with it? Salute, man. If you're still in the building. It took me a while to start up the live. I was having some internet trouble. Jay Chestnut, what's happening with it? Cassandra Mason, the queen in the building. And salute to Cassandra, because like I always say, she was one of the ones that was rocking with me when I didn't even have no YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? On Facebook, when I was just popping my shit. No evidence. What's happening with it? J.A. Dixon, what it do? Box Pie, what's happening with it? BSM 22, what it do? Vicious, what's happening with it? What up, Cap? I don't know what you mean by that, but I mean, you know. Anthony Johnson, what's happening with it? Light Skin Business, what it do? Philly Bull, what's happening with it? Yeah. Salute to everybody in the building, even the haters. Captain. Okay, yeah, salute to you. And man, we got a lot going on in boxing, man. A lot going on. Like I said, man, it's a good time to be a boxing fan. But shit, man, we had a hell of a past weekend. So we definitely gonna cook on that. We definitely gonna cook about just a lot of shit just going on in boxing right now. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, for sure. We step on this, so right. Man. But yeah, like I said, y'all make sure that y'all smash the like button. Make sure that y'all smash the like button as you come in the building. I'm trying to wait till we get some people more people in the building so I can start cooking. But yeah, a lot of things going on in boxing. And shit, man. Let's cook. Joseph P says Jamal can't make 160 anymore, so he should definitely make the jump to 168, even if he could make 160. Both Adamas and Janibek will wash him. Well, man. Yeah, we definitely gonna get into that too, Vicious. We definitely gonna get into that, man. Joseph P. A lot of people looked at that Jamal performance, and I got people that was in my comments telling me that Jamal only need one more fight and he'll whoop David Benavidez. Like, this is the thing with Jamal Charlo, right? And I'm glad that Jamal Charlo, man, was able to get back in the ring, come back, able to get the W. His offense looked good, and leave out of the ring, with no physical damage like that. He had a swollen eye, but go in there and get his money and do what he had to do, right? But when it comes to Jamal Charlo, man, he definitely needed a few more tune-ups. And you know what I'm saying? He definitely needed a few more tune-ups. But the Jamal's biggest struggle is going to be staying focused and disciplined. We've seen this same shit happen with AB. You know what I'm saying? We've seen the same thing happen with AB. So can Jamal Charlo stay focused and disciplined when he don't have no fight coming up? So, just that's one thing that we're gonna have to be looking to see, right? And I'm rooting for Jamal. I want to see Jamal, get back to the top of his game. But hey, it's easier said than done. And as far as him making 160, I went back, right? Jamal Charlo, this was the first time he had missed weight, right? But I did go back to the last fight that he had fought 2.5 years ago when he fought the Mexican dude, whatever, I forgot his Juan Matias. It took him like it took him a couple attempts to make weight when he fought Juan Matias. Go back and look at that weigh-in. Took him a couple of attempts to make weight for that fight. So, you know, we just gotta wait and see, man. But me personally, right? I think it's well past time for Jermall Charlo to move up to 168. But it's a reason. It's a reason why he don't want to move up to 168 and why he keep going back and forth on moving up to 168 and staying at 160. And we'll talk about that. Caleb Plant is 168. Omega Red, what's happening with it? Salute. My man A1 in the building. What it do? Jermaine Wood, what's happening with it? But yeah, so it's a reason. We're gonna get into that in a little bit. Like I said, I'm definitely gonna cook on that, the whole Jermall Charlo situation, man. And I'm just glad that he was able to go in there. Cause I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. Y'all heard me. I was afraid that Jermall Charlo might have a mental breakdown or some shit like that in the ring. Cause I've seen it happen before because how he was looking, you know, in the whole just lead up to the fight. It was like sometimes we would see him stable. Then sometimes we would see him unstable, but he was able to make it through, man. So that's good. That was good. That was good. Yeah, we definitely gonna talk about that Jermall Charlo and Plant fight also. I got a lot to say about, you know, Jermall Charlo's comments about that fight and a lot of other things. But yeah, y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, man. Do me a favor, hit the like button. I need to go give me some. Give me a second. Let me go get some toilet paper. My damn. I need to blow my nose. Hold on. All right. I'm back. Master Khalik, what's happening with it? Salute. Slab Life, what's happening with it? Love them down, get them. What it do? Salute. Joseph P says also it'd be cool for you to cover Subriel. Oh man, you already know I'm gonna cover that, bro. You know what I'm saying? You definitely know I'm gonna cover that. Like I said, I don't know if you seen my post on Instagram, right? And a fight like that just shows you most boxing fans don't really know shit about boxing. It's a different day and age now, and most boxing fans are strictly they casual fans. And what I mean by that is that Matisse and Ergashev fight. You look at that fight, and the arena was still damn near empty when they fought. I mean, it had people in there, but you know, it wasn't a lot of people that showed up to see them fight. And that was like, and it showed you that people didn't even know who they was, but that was one of the best fights. You know what I'm saying? Like, you knew that fight was gonna be fire. Like, if you know boxing, you knew that fight was gonna be one of the ones. So the first fight on the undercard, right? Was it was my man Sergey Lipinets versus Michelle Rivera. You know what? I was watching that fight. Michelle Rivera was outboxing Sergey Lipinets, making him look just like, you know what I'm saying, making him look like he got old overnight, right? Then Sergey Lipinets started to close the distance on Michelle Rivera and do some damage to the body, you know, hitting him with big shots. But I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, I didn't finish watching that fight. It just wasn't that intriguing to me, man. I don't like Sergey Lipinets. I think his best days is behind him. His best days is behind him. Michelle Rivera have never been that impressive to me. And I told people that when Michelle Rivera was going to fight Frank Martin, I said, man, Frank Martin going to beat him. He ain't really that good. You know what I'm saying? I really don't like him that much. I mean, you know, he's okay, but he's not that good. Real talk. So I actually didn't finish watching that fight. And what happened was it was a football game because there was a lot of football games on at the same time. And I ended up turning to watch the football game. By the time I got back to the Michelle Rivera and Sergey Lipinets fight, the fight was already gone off. So I had to go back and see, you know, how that fight ended and watch it a little bit closer, you know. But you know, I think Sergey Lipinets was a hell of a fighter, you know. When he first kind of kicked in the doors at 140, he was a champion. And y'all remember he fought Mikey Garcia, and that's how Mikey Garcia won his first title at 140 pounds because he beat Sergey Lipinets, right? But it was a hell of a fight. And I just think Sergey Lipinets is no longer in his prime. He ain't in his prime no more. But you know, he's a good fight for any of these guys at 140 pounds that want to test themselves. You feel me? I don't think that he could beat none of the top guys at 140 right now, but he a good fight to see where you at. Beyond the ring with Nonito and Rachel. Salute. David Israel, what's happening with it? Love him down, Gaither, what it do? And y'all do me a favor, smash on my like button. Yeah, Boots beat Lipinets bad. But I mean, Lipinets was never a 147-pound fighter, neither. You know what I'm saying? I think that's just I don't really take too much into that fight because Boots was look at Boots, man. He's supposed to beat the hell out of Lipinets. A1, what's happening with it, man? I appreciate the love and support. A1, who's always showing brother love, man. Brandon House, straight from the D-Town, Detroit in the building. What's happening with it, Brandon? But yeah, so now the next fight on that card I want to talk about was the fight, man. The fight with Jose Luis Garcia. Wait, is it Jose Garcia? Is it? Was it? Yeah, Jose Luis Garcia and Lamont Roach, man. I ain't gonna lie. That fight right there messed up all of my tickets I had in. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. That's why I'm glad a lot of y'all bet me that Boo Boo was gonna beat David Benavidez, because if it hadn't have been for y'all being hard-headed, I wouldn't have won no money on Saturday night. But that fight that Hector Luis Garcia, I knew I was saying it wrong, Cassandra. Appreciate you. That Hector Luis Garcia fight, I thought he was going to beat Lamont Roach. I ain't going to lie. Because I'm like, okay, man, Hector Garcia, you know, the only one he lost to was Tank. I was like, you know, he beat the hell out of Chris Colbert. And you know, I think that Hector Garcia going to be able to beat Lamont Roach because Lamont Roach had lost to what's my man, Jermall Charlo. And salute to Jermall Charlo, man, hell of a dude. But I'm looking at Lamont Roach, and I'm like, man, I really hadn't seen too much of Lamont Roach in a long time. So I know he could box. I know he come from, you know, down there in DC with the headbangers and all of them. And they produce a lot of hell of a fighters down there, right? But I'm just looking at Hector Garcia, and I'm like, okay, I got him beating Lamont Roach, but man, Hector Garcia, man, he pretty much a straight up and down fighter. No special effects like Floyd like to say. He's not that good. Let's just keep it a buck. And Lamont Roach, even though it was a close fight, Lamont Roach outboxed him. And at times Lamont Roach outbanged him. And Hector Luis Garcia was hurt. Lamont Roach hurt him a few times in that fight to where he was ready to go. You know what I'm saying? He was ready to go. So, man, I just Like, yeah, man, that Hector Garcia is another guy that he's okay. He's pretty good. He's not like he's okay. He's not near as good as I thought he was. And it makes me think about Chris Colbert, right? Make me think about primetime Chris Colbert, because I've been telling people for a long time that primetime Chris Colbert, he ain't it. And primetime Chris Colbert's biggest downfall is he's undisciplined outside of the ring. Primetime Chris Colbert is so undisciplined outside of the ring. He blows up in weight. He probably, like, I seen Primetime walking around 45, 50 pounds over his fight weight. So speaking of Primetime, if y'all didn't know, on that last Showtime card, he giving him and Rayo are having a rematch. Him and Rayo having a rematch. That's gonna be fireworks, because Rayo gonna go in there and try to get the job done. You know, I believe that Rayo got robbed. I believe he got robbed. I'm gonna just keep it real, man. Chris Colbert, man, Rayo was beating the dog shit out of Chris Colbert, and I think they robbed him. But it's a rematch, man. And remember, Chris Colbert didn't even want to give him a rematch because he was like, oh, you don't deserve a rematch. You don't deserve a rematch. So, yeah, man. So I can't wait to see that fight. That's going to be a fire fight, man. But salute to Lamont Roach, man. He proved me wrong. And, yeah, he fucked up my parlay. For real. Man, the next fight, and y'all smash the like button. Y'all smash on my like button, y'all. It's free. It don't cost none. Like I said, smash the like button. Show some love. I ain't finna be in here too long. But, you know, we're going to get it while I am in here. Next fight I want to talk about, man, is Ergashev and Matias, right? Now, I didn't know too much about Ergashev. And I'm watching Paulie Malignaggi race his ass, and I'm watching a couple other cats that's on the pro box. I'm watching Paulie Malignaggi, my man Teddy Atlas, and all of them on Showbox, and they start talking about this fight. And I said, man, I gotta go and check out Ergashev, because Paulie Malignaggi was swearing up and down that Ergashev was gonna stop Matias. Now, the reason I went to go check out Ergashev, because one thing I know about Paulie is Paulie always gonna go for the white fighter. It don't matter who it is, he gonna go for the white fighter. So I'm like, okay, let me go check out Ergashev. And I went to go check out Ergashev, and I'm like, okay, he pretty dangerous, he pretty good. So I kind of stayed away from that fight when it comes to, like, you know, putting him on my ticket, because, you know, I know Matias is a monster. But I want to go see what my man, you know, Ergashev looked like, because, like I said, I wasn't too familiar with Ergashev. And, man, in that fight, Ergashev started out strong. I ain't gonna lie. He started off strong. For a minute, he looked like he was finna beat Matias' ass the first couple rounds, right? He was outboxing Matias. Matias couldn't close the distance on him. And he was pressing the action, and he was throwing hard shots. Like, I'm like, damn, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. For a minute, I'm like, man, Ergashev might stop Matias for a split second. And then I think the third round, Matias came out, and you seen a whole different fighter. You know what I'm saying? Ergashev slowed down, and Matias closed the distance and just started pouring it on him. Like, Matias and David Benavidez remind me of each other a little bit, because both of them fighters, man, they just press you, and they don't fucking stop. And that shit is not only mentally draining, physically draining. Like, that shit just drain you when you got a fighter that's not going to stop. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Matias did. He pressing you, throwing hard shots, landed hard shots on Ergashev, and, man, he just beat him into submission. You know what I'm saying? Ergashev sat on that stool and was like, yeah, nah, I'm good. He beat that boy into submission. So Matias, man, He is a dog. I'm telling y'all right now. Matias is a fucking dog. A lot of them dudes at 140 pounds, they're not going to fight him. They ain't going to want no parts of him. And I don't know. Well, I guess he called out Gervonta Davis, right? He called out He called out everybody. He called out Tank Davis. He called out Teofimo Lopez. He called out Devin Haney. He called out, right, all the hitters, right? Now, of course, since he called out Tank, that was like the main thing that everybody heard, because that same night, I'm going into chats and I'm seeing everybody talking about, oh man, Tank could stop him. Tank could stop him. I'm going to tell y'all like this, man. Gervonta Davis is not a 140-pound fighter. He told y'all that himself. Gervonta Davis is not fucking with no Subriel Matias, because certain styles make fights and he's just too small. He's too small, man. Yeah, like, I know a lot of people, oh man, Tank can knock him out. Tank hit hard. Tank, bro, he's too small. Matias is a big 140-pounder. Big 140-pounder. And he cracking, and he pressing you nonstop. It's different, man. It's different. Tank told y'all already, like, I don't feel comfortable fighting at 140. Like, yeah, if you put Tank at 140 against a Devin Haney, a Teofimo Lopez, those guys like that, well, yes, those are fights that Tank can fight at 140, because those fighters come from 135. They come from smaller weight classes, right? They're not natural 140 pounders. They just, recently moved up to 140. But you're talking about guys like Matias that's cracking like 154 pounder, right? Also, that can fight at 147, 154. Them dudes is shrinking themselves down to get to 154. Like, y'all got to stop this shit, man. Tank Davis is a hell of a fighter, but y'all got to stop with this fairy tale shit. First of all, he would never get in the ring with nobody like Matias. I don't even think that Teofimo Lopez would get in the ring with somebody like him. Ryan Garcia would never get in the ring with these guys, these top men, they're not going to get in the ring with nobody like Matias. Barrios was bigger than him. I knew that shit was coming. Barrios is maybe taller. He ain't really bigger than Matias, but Barrios is not cracking like Matias. Barrios is not the same type of fighter as Matias is. Two completely different fighters. I knew that shit was coming. Well, he fought Barrios, and when Tank fought Barrios, he let everybody know, I ain't a 140-pound fighter. Soon as Tank fought Barrios, everybody tried to put him in with Keith Thurman, and Tank said out of his own mouth, man, y'all just think I can do anything, huh? Like, nah, I'm not fighting no Keith Thurman. I'm not a 140-pound fighter. I'm going back down to 135. Y'all got to stop being so fanned out. If a man tell you some shit out of his own mouth, take him for that. Take him for that. Yeah, Barrios, man, like Barrios is not. If I saw Barrios get his ass beat at 140 pounds, and I'm not talking about against Tank. He fought. Let me pull up Mario Barrios' record, because man, y'all like to run around and just like. First of all, like I said, it's a fantasy matchup that would never happen, and I think that a lot of fans, they be comfortable with that. A lot of fans be comfortable with talking about shit like this because they know it'll never happen. So they can run off and be like, oh man, such and such will do this and such will do that, when they know that fight will never happen anyway. You know what I'm saying? Let me pull up Mario Barrios. Barrios got the shit beat out of him before he fought Tank at 140. And everybody know he got the shit beat out of him in that fight. Akhmadov, right? Akhmadov beat the dog shit out of Mario Barrios, right? Akhmadiev at the time was 7-0, right? Now Akhmadiev is 10-3, but he beat the dog shit out of Mario Barrios, and it was I ain't gonna lie, y'all, and I'll never forget that fight because I didn't know who Akhmadiev was at that point in time. And I remember, I was putting together a parlay. And Mario Barrios comes up. And I put Mario Barrios on that ticket, right, to beat Akhmadiev. And I'm watching the fight. And the whole time, man, I'm pissed off because I'm like, man, this dude just fucked up my parlay. Like, this dude just messed up my whole parlay because he got his ass beat. First of all, Mario Barrios' whole eye was out to here. I'm like, he just messed up my parlay. Ain't no way he gonna win this fight. He lost. Like, he got his ass beat. Like, clearly, one of the biggest robberies I've ever seen. And they gave Barrios that fight. And I was the happiest dude in the room because I know that I had just slid away with one. And so, like I said, Mario Barrios, if he had fought somebody like Matias at 140, he would have been put to sleep. So don't try to compare Mario Barrios with a guy like Matias. Stop with the bullshit. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's weight classes for a reason. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mario Barrios was the weak link at 140 pounds. And Mario Barrios had a weak rehydration clause put on him also. A lot of people don't know that. Let's just keep this shit for what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of Tank, but let's just keep it for what it is, man. Let's stop trying to make him like he a superhero. You know what I'm saying? Mario Barrios was the weak link at 140 pounds at that time. Mario Barrios was struggling to make 140. Matter of fact, motherfucking, I had two cats out of Houston that live in Houston right now, right? They was betting me that Mario Barrios was going to beat Tank Davis. And I said, you niggas is fucking nuts. Mario Barrios ain't even that good. They're like, oh, yeah, he going to beat Tank. He going to beat Tank. And I'm like, okay, bet. So I think we ended up betting like $50, right? A week before the fight happened, both of them niggas pulled out from the bet, right? And I'm not gonna name no names, but they'll tell you themselves. Matter of fact, one of them was Stay Ready Boxing TV. So y'all know I ain't bullshit. And Stay Ready told me, I said, why you pulling out? He said, because I was in camp and we watching Mario Barrios and he's damn near killing himself to make the weight. He says he's not going to beat Tank now. I could tell he's like, he can't make the weight. He's killing himself to make the weight, right? Another reason why Leonard Ellerbe and Floyd Mayweather got Mario Barrios to fight Tank Davis, because that shit came out of nowhere. Everybody was like, what? Tank moving up to 140 to fight Mario Barrios? Why is this happening? Because Mario Barrios couldn't make the weight no more. Like, he was killing himself to make the weight. And then he already had announced that he was moving up to 147. But a lot of these fighters, they like to catch you when you're vulnerable, right? So if you the A side and you're going to get a big bag, more money than you've had in your whole entire career, a lot of these fighters ain't going to turn that down. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these fighters not going to turn that down. So he took that fight for money. Now, he did good in the fight, but, Mario Barrios was the weak link at the division at that point in time. Let's just keep it real. And that's not taking nothing from Tank, but you stop comparing guys like Mario Barrios to Matias. It ain't the same, bro. This motherfucker's a monster. And Clarence McClain, what's happening with it? Salute. Rick Tens, what it do? A1 back in the building. He says, hey, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Haney say he wanted that Matias smoke and now he want Thurman or Barrios? Just asking. Man, he said a whole bunch of shit, bro. That's how I'm gonna answer that. He said a whole bunch of bullshit. Now, he said, Omega said he cooking squirrels tonight. Hey, you can have that shit, dog. I'm straight on all that, Omega. Joseph Jackson, what's happening with it? Janelle Wilkinson, what's happening with it? But yeah, man. Now Matias is a fucking monster. Ergashev is a good fighter. Real talk. When I went and saw Ergashev, I'm like, oh yeah, this dude is good. You know what I'm saying? Jonathan Jackson said, I took your money. You took my money. But I tried to tell you, dog, niggas want to be hard-headed. He said, my man said, Matias is very durable. His power is crazy. I think that he got crazy. He do got a lot of power, but it's just that pressure, bro. It's that pressure. You know what I'm saying? It's that pressure, bro. That pressure is different. When you can sustain that pressure like that and you got power behind it, you know, Matias is a monster, man. And like I said, he's a problem. I don't see Ryan Garcia getting in the ring with him. I don't see Teofimo Lopez getting in the ring with him. I don't give a damn what Devin Haney said. I don't see Devin Haney getting in the ring with him. I think that out of all the top fighters at 140, well, not even all the top fighters, the fighters that we look at and we like, okay, they can actually do some damage. I think that Gary Antoine Russell will fight him, and I think that Regis Prograis will fight him if he beat Devin Haney. I think those two fighters are fighters, you know what I'm saying, that will fight Matias. You know what I'm saying? Now, if Regis were to fight Matias, Regis would get beat the fuck up. Regis fighting style, he want to be right there in the pocket with you, and you can't fight Matias like that. The only one that I can see beating Matias at 140 is Gary Antoine Russell. But Gary Antoine Russell would have to, he'll have to get a few more fights in, be active, because Gary Antoine Russell is actually very smart. You know what I'm saying? He got a very, very smart intellect, and I see him beating Matias at 140 pounds, right? But the rest of them dudes, they're not gonna beat him. They won't even try. Now, let me say this: the rest of them dudes, they're not even gonna get in the ring with him. They're not gonna get in the ring with him. Well, tough love boxing. If I'm Gary Antoine Russell, I don't fight Matias right now neither. He got to be active, dog. Like I think that, like you got to be active. Gary, like if I see Gary Russell have one fight and then go into the Matias fight within 3 or 4 months, then he got a good chance of beating him. But if Gary Antoine Russell were to be inactive like he is now and then go in off a long ass layoff and fight Matias, nah. Activity, man, you got to be active. But Matias is a problem. Devin ain't fight him. You know what I'm saying? Devin's not gonna fight him. Fucking, like I said, T.O. ain't gonna fight him. Ryan Garcia ain't gonna fight him. None of them dudes is gonna fight him because he's too dangerous, man. And just like fighters don't want to deal with a fighter like a Shakur Stevenson that's real crafty, that know how to move, that know how to box very, very well. Fighters don't like to deal with fighters like a David Benavidez and a Subriel Matias type of fighter neither. That's just going to continuously put relentless pressure on you. That's tough, that hit hard. Fighters don't, man, these fighters be picking and choosing, man, what type of fighters they fight. Y'all better realize. But Joseph Jackson, you got Dev, nigga, you got Dev beating the devil himself with fucking bare hands. Bro, you got Dev beating everybody. Like, come on, man. We know that, Joseph Jackson. Dev can't deal with that pressure. Like Dev can't deal with that type of pressure, dog. Like if I seen guys like JoJo Diaz close the distance on Dev Haney, what the fuck you think Matias is gonna do to him? Matias will kill Devin Haney. Somebody said Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson ain't even a 140-pound fighter. And if Shakur Stevenson was at 140, getting in the ring with Matias, what you would see is then you would really see Shakur trying to run. Like he'll have to fucking stay on the outside and just, you know what I'm saying, throw 2 or 3 shots the whole night, every round against him. He'll have to run against him. It's just different, man. But he's too that Matias is a big dude. No evidence 340. Man, get the fuck out of here with that. Tank stops him. Stop, like y'all are comfortable saying things like this when it comes to Tank because you guys know that fight will never happen. Oh, he said you mean Devin. I'm like, Tank ain't stopping no Matias, man. Like, coming there, he's too big for him. Like, he's just that dude is too big for Tank. You know what I'm saying? He's too big for Tank. Tank is like, y'all gotta, like, a lot of y'all be, and I'm not talking to you, no evidence, but a lot of people gotta stop putting Tank in these different weight divisions that he already told you he's not comfortable in. John Wick, you don't know shit about boxing, dog. John Wick, you don't know shit of you. Like, you one of the main ones that just talk. You always getting up under my comments and shit, running your fucking mouth, right? But you always watching everything that I do. But you really don't know shit about boxing. You just a Devin Haney fucking fanatic, bro. You really don't. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, all of these fighters inside of the ring, John Kramer, what they do? All of these fighters, like, I think Devin is a hell of a fighter, right? I like him inside of the ring. I don't like a lot of the bullshit he be doing every time he opened his mouth. Shakur, hell of a fighter. I just told y'all, if Shakur were to try to go to, y'all know what I think about Shakur. I think Shakur beat everybody at 135 pounds, right? But he go up to 140 fucking with Matias, he's going to have to run the whole night. And I don't even like saying that word, run. But that pressure and that power and all of that shit, he going to have to stay away from him all night. Then y'all be really talking about how boring the fight was and how much he ran, win, lose, or draw. Right? He might have a chance to pull it out on some motherfucking goddamn what's my man name that I used to he was a hell of a fighter, but I used to hate to watch him fight. The Cuban, the little Cuban, that Lomachenko made quit. Rigondeaux. That shit might be a Rigondeaux type of fucking fight. You know what I'm saying? But Devin Haney don't have no chance because Devin Haney defense ain't that good. Kevin Elliott, hell no. Hell no. But John Wick, why are you in here talking about Shakur and Gervonta Davis? Is that the topic of the subject? Right? Because I just got on your ass and told you that you a Devin Haney motherfucking fanatic, right? We ain't even talking about Shakur and Tank Davis fighting each other, and you want to come in here and talk about Shakur and Tank to try to switch the subject, right? To try to switch the subject that I just got on your ass and told you that you really don't know shit about boxing. You just like to talk a lot. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I'm not talking about Shakur and Tank. I told you how I feel about Shakur, that I believe that but that's not the topic of the subject. You know what I'm saying? They ain't the topic, so don't try to change the topic, bro. We're talking about Matias and everybody at 140 pounds. That's what the topic is, bro. Matias is he's a monster, man. Yeah, at 135. And I'm reiterating how I feel, because for the ones that don't know how I feel, my whole point of saying that is to let people know, if Shakur had to go up to 140 and fight Matias, you're going to be crying, because he going to have to run to win that fucking fight. But different styles make fights. Tank ain't going to fucking fight like that. Ryan Garcia ain't going to fight like that. Motherfucking Teofimo Lopez ain't going to fight like that. You feel me? Different styles make fights. But I mean, you know, if you really don't know about boxing like that, people don't understand, man. But moving along, because I don't want to let y'all get me off track. Knockout, what's happening with it? I don't want to let y'all get me off track of what this show is about, right? Now, so Matias is the problem. That's how I feel about him. I don't see none of these dudes fight Matias, fighting him. And it's going to take, at 140 pounds, it's going to take some dude like another Ergashev that we don't know nothing about, that's dangerous as fuck, that take a fight against him and beat his ass. And we all going to be surprised. But as far as any of these cats that's at the top of the 140 division or coming in the 140 division, they not finna step in the ring with that man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, every fighter is beatable, but the fighter that you name ain't beating him. You absolutely right. Or, matter of fact, every fighter, and if a fighter ain't beatable, every fighter becomes beatable at a certain point of their career, right? So if it ain't nobody that's in their division for however long that can beat them, eventually, if you stay there long enough, it's a fighter that's going to come and you're going to be beatable. But like I said, once again, Joseph Jackson talking about Dev is going to watch Matias. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I'm glad to know that you love Devin Haney that much. But you know, you talking about some fantasy shit, because you know Dev would never get in the ring with that man. But anyway, moving along, right? Let's talk about Jermall Charlo. Let's talk about Jermall Charlo. You know what? Now I got some people in here. I want to address some shit, right? I want to address some shit. Y'all make sure that y'all smash my like button. Y'all make sure that y'all smash my like button, right? Now, y'all know that when I talk this boxing shit, I don't give a fuck if you pink, yellow, or purple. You know, if you can fight, you can fight. So, after the fight, right, on Saturday night, I'm bored. I get on my phone, and I want to see who doing a live stream. The first channel that pops up that's doing the live stream, it's the channel that I'm not subscribed to, right? So I go in there. I didn't know this was a Hispanic channel. I go in there, right? And when I get in there, and a lot of y'all gonna know what I'm talking about, right? When I get in there, dude is having a call-in show. Like I said, I don't know this dude he just pop up on my shit. BDA Boxing, I'm gonna say they fucking name. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say their name. So I go in there and I said, well, let me see what they talking about. You know, I really never listened to them. I think I listened to them one other time, because that was the channel that had that fake doctor call in and say that motherfucking Errol Spence was brain damaged or some shit like that, right? So I just go in there to see what they talking about. Like, it's boxing talk. I want to hear what everybody got to say. I want to hear what everybody got to say, you know, about the event that just went on. You know, I'm just going in there and listen. It's a call-in show. So bam. Somebody calls in and he pissed off already. And he's like, man, every time I come to this motherfucker, all y'all do is talk about black folks. Y'all dogging out black people. I'm sick of this shit. Like, he was mad. So you could tell, like, this had been going on that channel for a long time, right? And he was pissed off. And the dude was like, oh, okay. And he was just going off. He's like, I'm sick of this shit. That's all y'all do is talk about black folks. Every time I try to come to this motherfucker, I want to talk about boxing, and y'all just talking and dogging out black folks. So I'm like, man, what's going on? So, right. So now I'm listening, right? And the dude that run the show, he let dude get his shit off. He's like, man, fuck y'all, right? He said, I'm sick of this shit, right? And the dude's like, oh, okay. Well, you got your word off. Let me say something. Okay. I'm gonna let you get it off. I'm gonna let you get it off your chest. Okay. When have we ever said anything about black people, right? And so dude is just going off on him and shit. And then I'm looking in the comments. And I get to seeing monkey emojis and banana peels and shit. And I'm like, oh, damn. They really get down like this over here. So I stayed in there for a little bit. And the next thing I hear, mind you, this is a Hispanic channel. The next thing I hear, this motherfucker get the drop. You know those drops that you can drop like two-tone, like two-tone be doing. You know what I'm saying? That like two-tone be doing that musty energy. This motherfucker had his drops, and his drop was, nigga, please, nigga, what? Nigga, what? Nigga, what? And he kept hitting that button, the drop button. Nigga, what? Nigga. And I said, wow, this motherfucker got some nerves. This motherfucker got some nerves, man. Right? I said, wow. And he kept hitting that button. Like, nigga, what? Nigga, what? I said, wow. So by accident, I said, yeah, okay. I see what's going on. And it's funny because anytime I try to go to another channel to just talk boxing or that's not, you know what I'm saying? That's the first time I went to a Hispanic channel and they was on some pure racist shit, right? But anytime I try, they always on that type of time, right? And I don't give a fuck how y'all feel about it. I'm talking about it, right? So, bam. The next night, I see another channel pop up. I'm familiar with this channel, right? I'm familiar with this channel. I know dude and everything. He a Hispanic dude, right? And that same dude that run that channel was on the platform, and they was all on the platform. And I said, oh, okay. I said, okay, they all run together. I see what that shit is. So, yeah, I say all that to say this, right? I ain't never been to no black platform, right? The black channel that just disrespect blatantly no race like that. You know what I'm saying? So if you on that type of time, right? If you Hispanic or white or on that type of time, don't even come over here and fuck with me. Cause I'm gonna cuss you the fuck out. Straight up. Like that shit crazy, man. So I just wanted to let everybody know what type of time they was on, and you know, I'm a move along, but I thought I should let everybody know that. Shit crazy. It was crazy, man. But so yeah, and another point I was making. So this is why, you know, I understand a lot of black fight fans, they pick blindly off of race. Like, man, we just gonna pick the black fighter because we don't like this other motherfucker. I don't do that, but I understand why y'all do it because of shit like that go down all the time on YouTube. When you try to go and support these other channels, or you try to go, you know, see what these other channels is talking about. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, moving along, right? Hold on, but moving along, man. So I understand it, man. Jermall Charlo. Yeah, Jay Grant, exactly. You keeping it real, but that's why I told you stop picking off a motherfucker because of their race. And when you know what I'm saying, like Jay Grant said, that's why I picked Boo Boo. I know why y'all be saying a lot of this shit and picking a lot of the fighters that y'all do because of shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Shit because of shit like that. But when you got your money on the line, bro. Oh, and I'm gonna tell y'all something about David Benavidez, man. I done met him on several different occasions, did interviews with him, met him in person, you know what I'm saying, on several different occasions. He ain't on that type of time. Now, his brother Jose might come off like he is. I can't accuse him of nothing like that. But Jose Benavidez ain't on that. I mean, David Benavidez ain't on that type of time. David Benavidez ain't on that type of time at all. His dad ain't on that type of time. They actually good people. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you that they actually some good people. So we can't group everybody like that. But, you know, that shit, man, it's going down heavy in these YouTube streets. Now, let's get to Jermall Charlo, man. Jermall Charlo, 30 months out of the ring. Man, the build up to the fight was fire. You know what I'm saying? Is money in here? I don't think money. I ain't seen money in here. I see somebody said something about money, but I don't think money's in here. But the build up to the fight was fire as fuck. You know, Jose Benavidez, he acting like he want to scrap Jermall Charlo in a press conference. But the whole time, Jermall Charlo stayed calm. He stayed calm. He was like, I'm not finna let this dude F me out of my money, right? I ain't finna let him F up the event. And y'all hit the like button. Smash on the like button for me. It's free. It don't cost y'all nothing. You know, if y'all can't support no other way, just smash the like button for me. You know what I'm saying? Don't cost y'all nothing to hit a like button. But Jermall Charlo, like I said, man, I've been waiting on his comeback for a long, long time, right? Finally got in the ring. He missed weight, so Jermall Charlo was getting a whole bunch of backlash because he came in like 4.5 pounds overweight. Or what was it? 163, and he came in at 166. So 3.5 pounds overweight, right? But man, Jermall Charlo, he looked, once he got it going, right? Once he got comfortable, he looked good offensively. Offensively, Jermall Charlo looked good. So I was impressed with that because I didn't know how Jermall was gonna look. I didn't know if Jermall was gonna get in there and just be timid and be afraid to get hit or not let his hands go like Adrian Bronner or some shit like that. Like I didn't know. Okay. So I mean, let me address some shit in the chat because I don't know what the fuck. Like, stop coming in here talking about 78 Sports TV and what went on. Like, that shit is not the topic of my show. Like, you know what I'm saying? What them grown men, what they had going on yesterday, leave that shit at that, bro. I don't need that. I don't need y'all coming in here with that bullshit, right? We in here talking about boxing. What they had going on last night don't have shit to do with my show and the topic of my show. Straight up, man. If you got something to say to 78 Sports TV, say that shit to him, not in my chat. If you got something to say to Money Brown TV, go and holler at him and say that shit to him. If you got something to say to Drew Titan, go to him and say that shit, bro. My show ain't about that. Get that bullshit up out of my motherfucking chat. For real, bro. Now, anyway, back to Jermall Charlo. So I don't know what the fuck y'all think this is. Back to Jermall Charlo, man. like I said, offensively, when he let his hands go, he looked good. When you know what I'm saying? Like it took him a long time to unleash the uppercut, to get comfortable with throwing the uppercut, because I was asking myself, I'm like, man, Jermall, he looking good, but he ain't throwing no uppercut the whole fight. And then later on, I can't remember what round it was, he started throwing the uppercut, and I could tell the longer the fight went on, Jermall Charlo realized that this motherfucker can't hurt me. And Jermall Charlo also realized that, okay, I need to, you know what I'm saying, I need to let my whole arsenal go. And he did that. So I like how Jermall Charlo looked offensively. But and I've been telling people this, Cassandra remember me saying, and people that's been watching me for a long time remember me say that Jermall Charlo gets hit too much. And he showed that again on Saturday night. His defense looked horrible. You know what I'm saying? His defense looked horrible in a Juan Montiel fight. And his defense also looked horrible on Saturday night. And if Jose Benavidez had any type of power, the shots that he was catching Jermall with, Jermall might have been put to sleep. That's why I'm glad he was in there with a much smaller guy like Jose Benavidez that don't really have no crack like that. You know what I'm saying? And it was a good tune-up, warm-up fight for him. You know, that's just what it was. Jose did make Jermall fight. And another thing I saw in that fight, he was pressing Jermall at times. He was backing Jermall up, you know, making Jermall fight off the ropes. But Jermall was able to respond because Jose Benavidez couldn't hurt him. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't hurt him. Jermall was a much bigger fighter. And so, man, I like what I saw offensively. But offensive, just being good offensively, it ain't going to get the job done when you step up to that top level competition. And the reason that I'm saying that is because in the press conference, Jermall Charlo was talking about some pick me, Canelo. Pick me, Canelo. And nah, bro. You're not ready for no Canelo. You're not ready for no David Benavidez, because he also said that David Benavidez looked sloppy and he wasn't impressive. Well, if you had been in the ring with him on Saturday night, Jermall, even though, like I said, you look good offensively for being out of the ring 30 months. I was proud of you for getting the win and you know, going in there and just making it through. But if you had been in that ring, you would have got your ass killed, knocked out by David Benavidez. So you talking about Canelo pick me, you better hope that Canelo don't pick you. You better hope that Canelo don't mention you to the people over there at, you know, PBC. D Free, what's happening with it? Salute. Because I'm going to tell y'all right now, I've always told y'all that Jermall Charlo can't beat Canelo Alvarez, because I look at the styles. Jermall Charlo has a very good jab, and he displayed that. But Jermall Charlo, I've been telling people this shit for years. Since 2020, I've been telling people that Jermall Charlo cannot beat Canelo Alvarez. And the reason that I've always said it is because Jermall does not ever stick to his game plan. And I'm not talking about this fight with him coming back off a 30-month layoff. This is not what I'm talking about. Go back and check my resume when I talk about Jermall Charlo fighting the fighting the Canelo Alvarez. I always say that he can't beat Canelo because people look at Jermall and be like, okay, well, Jermall the bigger guy and he can stick to his jab and he can do that. For one, Jermall has respectable power, but he don't have like that vicious power at 160. Never had it at 160. Couldn't get rid of guys like a Brandon Adams that was much smaller. Couldn't hurt Juan Montiel several times. Couldn't get rid of him. He just never had no devastating power, and he showed it again Saturday night because Jose Benavidez, the shots that Jermall was landing on him, he should have been able to knock him out. You know what I'm saying? 30-month layoff or not, your power, if you got power like that, the power don't go nowhere. But Speaking about Canelo and Jamal always, he don't never stick to the game plan, right? To using his jab, stand on the outside, fighting behind the jab. He'll do it for a little bit, and then he'll let you bait him into fucking fighting on the inside. And that's where Jermall Charlo will lose to Canelo Alvarez at. Because it like once a fighter show you who they are, that's who they are. He's going to end up fighting Canelo right there, right on the inside, and Jamal, he get hit too much. He get hit too much, and he can't afford to get hit by Canelo Alvarez repeatedly like that. Like, Canelo might stop Jamal. And once again, this is not me saying it from seeing Jamal off a 30-month layoff. I've been saying it since 2020. Jamal can't beat Canelo. Couldn't, you know what I'm saying? He can't beat Canelo at 168. Nick J says, and salute, she said, last time Jamal stuck to the plan was against Derevyanchenko. He did stick to the plan, right? But if you go back and watch that fight, Nick J, Derevyanchenko, Jermall Charlo got tired down the stretch, probably like the 8th round, and then the round started being a lot more tough for Jermall Charlo, the back end of the fight. Jamal started fading in that fight. But I mean, he still won. He still won and beat Derevyanchenko clearly. But watch the back end of that fight. Jamal started getting hit a lot. So, for the dudes that jumped up in my comments telling me that Jamal beats Canelo and all of that, man, y'all got to stop. Y'all got to pretend like y'all know boxing. Y'all have to stop, and y'all got to pretend like you know boxing. A lot of y'all don't know shit about boxing, and that's okay, but at least pretend like you do and stop just saying blatant shit. Now, but I'm glad to see Jamal, man. As far as Jermall Charlo, he looked real good in the press conference, man. He talked well. He spoke well in the press conference. And the post-fight press conference was the first time that I actually heard him speak well. He wasn't slurring none of his words. Everything was coming out clearly. And he just looked like he had a weight off of his shoulder. You know what I'm saying? He looked like he seemed like a different person in that press conference. And that was the biggest thing that I took from Saturday night when it came to Jermall Charlo, man. It just, in that post-fight press conference, if y'all saw that, it looked like that he was a whole different person, man. And so that's good. But like I said earlier in the show, right? Jermall Charlo's biggest obstacle, my bad. Jermall Charlo's biggest obstacle from here on out is going to be if Jamal can stay disciplined during the time where he don't have no fight coming up. Now Jamal is free to do whatever he want to do. Can he stay disciplined during this time? You know what I'm saying? He just finally came back to the sport. He won. He ain't got no fight coming up on the he don't have no fight coming up right now. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got nothing coming up. Is he going to get right back in the gym? Is he going to stop doing drugs and drinking during this time? Can he stay disciplined? Biggest question we always had with Adrian Broner, and the answer with AB was always no. AB win a fight, get a little money, he going straight to the bottle in the club and all type of other shit. Jamal in a different position than AB because Jamal got a family, he's married, got kids, so hopefully he can stay disciplined, stay focused, and his head stay right. But like I said, we got to sit back and wait. We got to sit back and watch and wait. And I wouldn't put money on it, but I'm hoping he does. That's going to be his biggest obstacle that he got going on right now, is staying focused and disciplined while he don't have no fight coming up. Original America from St. Louis. Salute, salute. He say, I'm from the Show Me State. That's real talk. Knockout say, big facts. Will he choose the booze or the gloves? Yeah, like John Kramer say, man, I don't know, but I hope he do. Nick J say, only time will tell. I wish him well. Yeah, me too, man. I'm a fan of Jermall Charlo. I put a picture up yesterday, right? And you know, if y'all know me, you know how we clown. This is what we do. We clown all the time. You know, we make jokes and shit. And I put a picture up of some shit that Jamal Charlo had on. Because, you know what I'm saying, the shit was funny to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to show y'all the picture. Hold on. He had some, that motherfucker had some. So I'm clowning, right? A lot of y'all grown ass men, y'all are fucking emotional as hell. Niggas got all in my clown, like crying and man, why you hating on Jamal, man? Well, I like Jamal. We just clowning. Like we do that shit in here all the time. Clowning on a nigga, you know, joning on it, you know, for nigga come up with got some crazy shit on, we clowning, right? Like if Jamal Charlo seen the shit, he probably get to laughing and start clowning back. These grown ass men is so feminine and soft. Niggas got the crying in the comments and writing motherfucking paragraphs, and I'm like, wow. Like for real, like man, I don't know what's wrong with some of y'all men nowadays. This shit crazy. Like that shit is crazy. Niggas like, man, why would you do this? Why would you? I'm like, God dang, y'all niggas is something y'all special for real. But moving along, man. Let's talk about, you know what I'm saying? Nick J said, this is why I fucks with you. I love to crack a joke and have a good time. Gotta be able to laugh and take a joke. Yeah, like these niggas, these grown ass men was like offended by that shit. Like they all in my man, you hate no Jamal. Man, what's your problem with Jamal, man? This one nigga that wrote me a whole motherfucking 2 paragraphs and shit, and I'm like, bro. Hey, nigga, we clowning. Like this is jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, man, hey, I'm like, y'all couldn't be around me in real life. You couldn't have grew up around me. Like for real. If y'all niggas is that feminine over another grown man, yeah, I would torture some of y'all. Real talk, I'll make some of y'all commit suicide and shit if y'all that fucking sensitive. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. Like it's a joke. I like Jamal Charlo. I'm a fan of him. Nigga had some crazy shit on. A1 said Charlo ass dressed like a buff Thriller backup dancer. For real. Motherfucker. Boy, it looked like Curtis Blow and shit. Boy, it looked like Curtis Blow. A lot of y'all don't know who Curtis Blow is. You know, some of y'all too young for that shit. My girl in the kitchen talking about, who's Curtis Blow? I know that what she's saying in her head. She said, yeah. She don't know. She young. She younger, a lot younger than me. I'm like, who's Curtis Blow? KQKC, what's happening with it? Salute. I think the first tape that my daddy ever got me when I was a kid was a Curtis Blow tape, and then he got me a Fat Boys tape. And a lot of y'all don't even know what a tape is. A lot of y'all don't even know what a tape is. That's the first rap music I got a Curtis Blow tape and a Fat Boys tape. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know who Curtis Blow was, but my pops brought me the tape home. Like, boy, you need to listen to this. I'm like, who this? He's like, boy, this Curtis Blow. And it was in the 80s, you know, and the Fat Boys, that's the tape I wanted because I was big on the Fat Boys that crush grooving, body moving, crush grooving. Man, that the Fat Boys was the shit back in the day. Yep, Curtis Blow and the Fat Boys. That was my 2 first tapes I ever got. Yep. And then I remember Too Short. I remember Too Short. Me and my sister, man, we used to be listening to Too Short every day. And my mama got that shit. My mama got that shit, right? And threw that shit in the tape deck one time. This is Too Short. This like 92. This like 92 when the Too Short, man, not Short Dog, but the album after Short Dog. Man, she threw that shit in the motherfucking tape deck and was like, what in the hell is this shit y'all listening to? Hey, but she ain't throw it away. She tried to hide the shit from us in one of her drawers. Like she tried to put it like way back in one of her drawers. Man, we went and got that shit the next day. Now it wasn't Cocktails. It was before Cocktails. It was before Cocktails. Like I said, it was 92. Cocktails came out in like 94, 96, 94. I think Cocktails came. Yeah, man, she damn near lost her mind when she heard that Too Short tape, right? So man, she tried to hide it from us. We went and got that shit. So we around the house, you know, with the Walkman and the headphones on and shit, listening to Too Short every day. And she used to be like, what y'all listening to? Oh, I'm listening to MC Hammer. Had Too Short straight off in that motherfucking tape deck. Straight. I had Too Short straight off of my tape deck. Wasn't no MC Hammer in there. Knockout say Little League's giving our first place trophies to last place teams, and men use women's bathrooms now. That's why niggas is soft. No one knows how to handle themselves anymore. Man, that's a fact, bro. That's a fact. A whole different era. Knockout. These dudes is super, like, I don't even want to say that they act like women, because women don't even act like these men do. Like, so I can't even say that. But anyway, let's move it along, right? Let's talk about the main event. Oh yeah, I was listening to Too Short, but half of the time, Seattle, I just wouldn't listen to it in my tape. But yeah, that first Too Short, that Please Hammer Don't Hurt Him, yeah. And then remember when Too Short came out with that Funky Headhunter, yeah. But man, let's skip to the main event, man. The main event, man, that shit went down exactly how I thought it was gonna go down. And I told, yeah. Y'all thought, yeah, I ain't gonna let y'all niggas off the hook. Oh, that boo-boo this and man, let's go back to 2021. Me, my brother Coach, rest in peace. Batman, rest in peace. Money Brown. And I remember when all you niggas was coming running to my channel talking about David Benavidez ducking Boo Boo. He'll never fight Boo Boo. He's scared. And remember, a lot of y'all was arguing me down. Well, man, he's scared of Boo Boo. Man, his manager said that they were going to have to pay David $10 million. And then remember, immediately David Benavidez said, I don't give a fuck what Samson said. I'll fight Boo Boo. Like, you know what I'm saying? Make it happen. If Boo Boo want to fight, make it happen. My manager don't run me. Remember, he said it on my show. But y'all want to run around with the narrative saying that David was ducking Boo Boo. Yeah. Y'all thought I forgot about that shit, huh? And I was telling y'all, David said out of his own mouth, he ain't ducking no Boo Boo, that he wants to fight Boo Boo. And then remember a little bit after that, David called out Boo Boo, tried to set up the fight, and Boo Boo ducked David. Yeah, he ducked him. Remember he got on the live screen? Remember Boo Boo put out a video and he started calling out Chris Eubank? Remember he was calling out Chris Eubank Jr.? And I was like, David just called him out. Why is he calling out Chris Eubank Jr.? And y'all was still running around talking about, oh, David's bluffing. He's capping. He ain't gonna fight he ain't gonna fight Boo Boo. Then we go all the way when the fight is made. I'm seeing a lot of y'all all through comments talking about David looks nervous when it comes to Boo Boo. Look at him. Look at the face off. David energy ain't the same when it comes to Boo Boo. He nervous, man. Damn, niggas telling me that Boo Boo is gonna stop David Benavidez. Then you had the Boo Boo, man. His David Benavidez ain't got no feet. David Benavidez ain't this, and David Benavidez ain't that. And I told all you niggas you don't know shit about boxing that David Benavidez, yeah, they bet me. All of them bet me knockout. But we ain't even, I salute them. I salute them. Because the hard head make a soft ass. But they actually showed that they believed in Boo Boo. A lot of y'all was just talking just to say some shit because when it came time to bet, y'all didn't want no smoke. But for the ones who did bet, salute to y'all because y'all actually believed in Boo Boo. Y'all believe the hype. Y'all believe the hype that these other channels was running, telling you about Boo Boo, and still listening to me that talk about everything straight down the middle like KQKC say. I call it straight down the middle. And I tried to tell y'all, look at Demetrius Andrade's history. At 160, he never looked impressive. I told y'all that he had trouble with pressure fighters. I said, go look at the Liam Williams fight. He slowed down in that fight. I said, go look at another fight that he had back at 154. It was overseas. He barely beat that guy, and he was a pressure fighter. I said, Boo Boo, he slows down after the fourth round. He don't move that much after the fourth round. And he also gets hit. I said the only way that he fucking survives against David Benavidez is if he just stops fighting and goes 12 rounds to try to survive. Other than that, he's getting knocked the fuck out. I tried to tell y'all. I broke the fight down for y'all and told y'all what was going to happen. And what happened? David Benavidez went through and walked through that man like some fucking wet tissue paper. He tore through him like some wet tissue paper. And now, that's when all the excuses came. That's when all the excuses came. Oh, man, David B, he need to be fighting at 175. He was too big. I had a nigga come and tell me that Boo Boo won the first 4 rounds clearly. What fucking fight was you watching? Everything that Boo Boo tried to do, David Benavidez shut that shit down early. What David Benavidez did is he worked off the jab, and then he started shooting the straight right. Remember, Boo Boo is a southpaw. Boo Boo is a southpaw. David Benavidez showed his ring IQ. He says, okay, this nigga, he trying to do all that herky-jerky movement, and Boo Boo always moves to one side. And David Benavidez, what he did, he started doubling up that straight. He started doubling up his straight right hand, right? Throwing Boo Boo off, taking that southpaw advantage from him. And then he started digging him to the body. slowed him down real fast. Cut off the ring to where the nigga, he didn't have nowhere to go because, see, David not only pressures you, he pressures you while throwing punches. A lot of fighters, they do this. They you know, they move around. They try to cut off the ring, but they're not throwing no punches. David is cutting off the ring at the same time while throwing punches from all different angles. And he's throwing to your body. He's going to make you fight. It don't matter who you are. It's 12 rounds in a fight, and he's never going to stop. He ain't never going to stop. And I told y'all that. Y'all know Boo Boo this and Boo Boo man, and Boo Boo gonna be, and Boo Boo's an excellent fighter. Who the fuck had he fought? Who had Boo Boo look impressive against? Like, the nigga didn't even look that good against Liam Williams. And then I told y'all, I said, okay, Boo Boo fought a C-level fighter his last fight, Demond Nicholson. I said, he ain't look good in that fight. How much better you think he gonna look against David Benavidez? But you niggas want to run around and listen to these other channels that preach shit just because they got an agenda. They don't like David Benavidez, so they hype you niggas up and had you running around like some crash dummies, jumping, talking about Boo Boo this and Boo Boo that, when Boo Boo hadn't showed you nothing that y'all was talking about at all. At all. He hadn't showed y'all nothing that y'all was saying. At least when Errol Spence, you know what I'm saying, when people was taking up for Errol Spence and saying that they had Errol Spence over Crawford, at least Spence had a whole resume to show you that he was everything that people were saying he was. I was trying to figure out why are they saying all this shit about Boo Boo when he ain't showed it. Like, yeah, you can fucking, yeah, you if you put LeBron James in a D-League game, he finna go the fuck off every night. He finna score, you know what I'm saying? LeBron James will average 50, 60 points in the D-League game. Boo Boo wasn't even doing that. He was fighting D-League level fighters, and he was looking okay. He was looking okay. Some fights he would look real good. Some fights he would look, you know, okay. I told y'all he throw a lot of looping shots. His defense ain't on point like y'all said it was. And David Benavidez, once again, walked through him like wet tissue paper. And Boo Boo quit. Yeah. A lot of people don't even know he quit in the corner. Right? Because I heard Greg Hackett, shout out to Greg Hackett and them over there. But I heard Greg Hackett on the video, he said, his corner, should have let him go out and fight. It's like his corner stopped it too early. And, as a fighter, Boo Boo would never quit. And, Boo Boo wanted to quit, keep fighting. Nah, Boo Boo quit. Because I didn't know what happened, but I could see in the corner that Boo Boo didn't want no more. You know what I'm saying? I knew that Boo Boo quit because I'm looking in the corner and I'm like, they asked him clearly, do he want to fight? And he said no. So then Blue Blood put the video out showing him telling his corner, stop the fight. He told his corner, stop the fight. Clear as day. They asking him like his corner was trying to get him to go back out there. He looked up at them and told them, nah, stop the fight. His trainer, Andre Rozier, did an interview and said, David's a monster. We wouldn't prepare for nothing like that. He said it. He said David Benavidez is a monster. We wouldn't prepare for nothing like that. He was just overmatched. He was overwhelmed. He said it's that pressure. Yes, Seattle Rick. And that's why I don't like Boo Boo. He quit but then wouldn't even give David Benavidez his full credit. The man just beat the dog shit out of you, beat the fight out of you. Your bitch ass couldn't even get to 6 rounds, but then you want to get on the mic and talk about, oh, well, man, it wasn't like he was better than me. You know, it was like, you know, I've had a lot of, you know, he was just big and, you know, I had a lot of inactivity. Well, the 2 fights that you fought at 168 before them, you wouldn't talk about that they was big. The whole time leading up, ever since you came to 168, you was talking about that you know what I'm saying, that you was a big guy. Well, it's me again. I'm a big guy. It's me again. I'm a big guy. You know, people don't know how I'm a big guy. Now all of a sudden, oh, well, I'm more skilled than him. It's just because he beat the fuck out of you. You know what I'm saying? He beat your motherfucking ass and showed that you ain't like that. Because the nigga quit on the stool. It's me again. Yeah, nigga, you quit. See, he ain't never been tested. You need fights to test you, to see like, okay, if you really got that in you. Boo Boo ain't never had to get tested. Like we seen Caleb Plant take, let's keep it a buck. Caleb Plant was taking just as bad as beating as Boo Boo was, but Caleb Plant stayed in that bitch. He stayed in the paint. Caleb Plant finished all 12 rounds and was still trying to fight to the bell rung. But Boo Boo said his fucking soft ass in that corner, looked up to his people and told him, stop the fight. Told his people to stop the fight. I don't want to hear none of that shit, Francis. I don't want to hear no, man. Boo Boo big for 158. Maybe fighting the guy at 168. Is it nah? No. I don't want to hear no excuses for him. All that skills is supposed to pay the bill. If Boo Boo was as skilled as he was, that y'all said he was, and he could do all that superhero shit y'all said he was going to do, I tell you like this, he would have lasted longer than motherfucking 5 rounds. That nigga went in there and got stopped before the 6th round and quit on the stool. He felt that power, and he felt that power and that pressure. Yeah. And it was me again, all right. It was me again, all right. KQKC says, no excuses. All David was using his angles too. Yeah, David was using, and David comes at you with angles, but while he's coming at you with the angles, he's throwing punches from all different angles at the same time. What's that? Can you cover? Yeah, appreciate it. He throwing punches from all different angles at the same time. So, man, y'all keep sleeping on David Benavidez, and I'm going to keep telling you, in the words of the late, great Troy, a.k.a. Coach, David Benavidez over everybody. Now, y'all notice Canelo Alvarez, he ain't said a motherfucking word. Canelo Alvarez, for all the Canelo Alvarez fans in here, I've been telling y'all from the longest time, Canelo don't want no parts of David Benavidez. And a lot of people running around talking about, oh, Canelo beats him, man. Canelo does this. Okay. Okay. Keep thinking that. We saw how Canelo fought against Bivol. David Benavidez is a different monster than Bivol. I'm telling y'all right now. David Benavidez, I know, because I talked about this shit with him behind the scenes. David beat the shit out of Bivol. And it's people like Ellie Setback that was in the spar, that saw the spar. A lot of people seen David Benavidez, a young David Benavidez, beat the brakes off of Bivol already. Bivol will tell you that David beat the brakes off of him. And David is a long fighter with reach, jab, relentless pressure. He's a problem all the way around for Canelo Alvarez. And one thing I got to say, right? Because a lot of people say, oh, man, Boo Boo was tagging him. Go back and watch the fight if you can. A lot of that shit that y'all thought that Boo Boo was landing, David Benavidez parries punches off of his arms. He parries punches off of his arms. So a lot of the shots that you think is landing, they're not landing on David. He has underrated defense. David got underrated defense. You know what I'm saying? Jay Gooder, you must be a Canelo Alvarez fan. You asked the dumbest question of the whole night. Salute to you for asking the dumbest question for the of the night. He says, why David Benavidez haven't moved up in weight yet? Well, like I said, no disrespect to you, but that was a dumb-ass question. Why would you move up in weight? For one, you've been Canelo Alvarez's mandatory for on three different occasions, right? For two, it's much bigger money fights at 168 than 175. Why would he already have moved up to 168? I mean, to 175 when he still got a whole bunch of business to handle at 168. Like, that shit is just, I mean, it's self-explanatory. You know? And he's the mandatory to Canelo Alvarez once again. The WBC says that he is going to force. I mean, they said that they're going to force Canelo Alvarez to fight or vacate, which is bullshit, but we're going to see if they're going to do it now. We're going to see if the WBC is going to stand on their words and force Canelo to fight or vacate. You know what I'm saying? Knockout said, who the fuck moves out the weight? Who the fuck moves out of Cash Cow's weight class? Right. Why would you, for what? But him and Bivol, it's going to happen. But right now, the subject, the fight that everybody wants to see, the fight that I've been saying is the biggest fight in all of boxing, and I've been saying this for a long time, is Canelo Alvarez and David Benavidez. But Canelo Alvarez is behind the scenes trying to make a fight with Jaime Munguia. Huh. Hold on, y'all. Canelo Alvarez is behind the scenes trying to make a fight with Jaime Munguia, right? A few years ago, Canelo Alvarez told David Benavidez and Jermall Charlo and all of them dudes, won't y'all all fight each other and earn a shot against me? You know what David Benavidez did? He said, okay, I'll do just that. First he fought Caleb Plant, beat the dog shit out of him. Then he just stopped Demetrius Andrade, right? Made him quit on the stool. But remember, he told Jamal Charlo, David Benavidez, he told Demetrius Andrade, right? He told all of them, earn a fight against me, fight each other. But then tried to make a fight versus Jamal Charlo when Jamal Charlo was coming off a 2.5-year layoff, and Jamal Charlo didn't have to fight none of them. Make that shit make sense. Let me repeat that for some of y'all that don't understand too well. He told Jamal Charlo, David Benavidez, Demetrius Andrade, and am I missing somebody else? Yeah, them. He told all of them, won't y'all earn a fight against me and fight each other? David Benavidez whooped Caleb Plant, then whooped Demetrius Andrade, right? Whooped two of the names that Canelo had on the list. Jamal Charlo was on that list, but Jamal Charlo, off of a 2-year layoff, No tune-ups, no nothing. He tried to make a fight for Jermall Charlo, but Jermall Charlo didn't fight none of them. But now David Benavidez is your mandatory once again, and you still ain't said not one fucking word. You still ain't said not one fucking word. We know why. We know why. PBC even tried to offer David Benavidez before, and he said, nope, I'm not fighting. Behind the scenes. They tried to offer Canelo $50K up front. $50 million up front to fight David. He turned it down. Ed Perez. Let me show y'all how scared Canelo Alvarez's fans are. Ed Perez says Benavidez doesn't dictate when the fight will happen. I believe fight will happen in September. I have Canelo beating Benavidez, and Canelo will be odds favorite to win also. Well, that's good if he's odds favorite to win, because I'm going to win a lot of money. Also, what you mean by Benavidez doesn't dictate when the fight happens? Isn't Benavidez the WBC mandatory for the third time in a row? This is the third separate occasion that Benavidez is his mandatory. And this is, like I said, arguably the biggest fight in all of boxing. Why wouldn't you want to put on this fight? You're going to make more money than you can fighting anybody else. I mean, make it make sense to me. The only thing that makes sense is he don't want to fight David Benavidez. That's why Canelo, like, come on, man. This man showed who he was. He showed who he was when he tried to fight Jamal Charlo coming off a 2.5-year layoff. Like, that shit should tell you everything you need to know. I don't give a fuck how big of a Canelo Alvarez fan. The man pulled up, man. I ain't gonna say what I want to say, but yeah, he showed you who he was. You know what I'm saying? Why are you trying to fight Jamal Charlo coming off a 2.5-year layoff, drug and alcohol abuse, seeing a psychiatrist, mind ain't even right, but you want to get that man in the ring and fight him then? But you could have fought him years ago when he was running through shit. Like, come on, man. He showed you what type of dude he is. And then you fight his brother. Then you just jump on the, you know what I'm saying? Then you fight his brother, have him move up 2 weight classes. But David Benavidez is sitting there the whole time, and you don't fight him, and he in your weight division, and he's your mandatory. See, a lot of y'all don't know is back in, what was it? I'm trying to think the time frame. I'm trying to think of the time frame. Oh, hold on, I'll find out right now. When did we go see David? Hey, babe, when did we go see David? Yeah, when was that when we went to go see David? You don't remember what month that was in? Was it in the? It was in the winter? No, well, it was in the. It was nah. This is spring. Summer. Probably like what? Like April, May, March, May. But no, it's probably like April, right? March. Yeah, probably like March. Well, I talked to David Benavidez myself, right? It was sometime in the summer or spring, right? It was sometime in the summer or spring, right? And David told me at that, okay, it was after the fight. It was after the plant fight. So it was probably in May. It's probably in May, knockout. Okay, because knockout said the plant fight was in March. So it had to be like in May, maybe June. Had to be in May or June, right? Like May or June. Okay, it was probably June. She said it was June. So I talked to David Benavidez myself, and at that point in time, they was working on making a fight with David Benavidez and Canelo Alvarez then, right? For September. And Canelo just disappeared on him. They offered Canelo more money than he's made his whole entire career. And he disappeared on him. And then you hear that he fighting Jamal Charlo. So a lot of y'all don't know. I mean, Jermall Charlo. A lot of y'all don't know. It wasn't supposed to be Jermall or Jamal. It was supposed to be David Benavidez in September. But Canelo, once again, disappeared when they was trying to negotiate the fight with him. You Money says Canelo gonna make pork chops out of David. Well, it's funny that you believe some shit he don't believe. Because if that was the case, he would have been took a fight with David, because we know we know one thing about Canelo. If he think he can beat you easily, he's gonna fight you. It ain't gonna be no problem making that fight. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of y'all talk shit that you don't believe yourself, and he don't believe that himself. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all say shit that you nor he believes. Like, I mean, if y'all thought it was bad when he fought Bivol, see, it's gonna be much worse than that. He get in the ring with David, and he knows that. That's why Canelo gets pissed off anytime anybody mentions David Benavidez to him. He gets mad. The man get mad. His whole face turned red. Veins get to popping out in his head and shit. I'm telling y'all, Jay Gooder says Canelo should have taken this fight years ago. David is on a different level now. Yeah, he should have. He should have. But see, he kept ducking him because he was ducking him in. Because Canelo knows that David is a bad stylistic matchup for him. You know what I'm saying? Canelo knows that David is a bad style matchup for David Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? He knows that. So, and Canelo has a lot of problems with long fighters that are pressure fighters that throw, because see, Canelo, he want to be able to be bigger than you, overpower you, and he wants to be able to fight in spurts, right? You can't fight in spurts with David Benavidez. He's going to make you fight. He's not stronger than David Benavidez. Everybody know he's not bigger than him. You know, his activity rate is nowhere near David Benavidez's activity rate. And David got everything in his arsenal as far as, offensive arsenal. He got a great jab, go to the body great. He got real good power. It's a nightmare for Canelo. And I'm going to tell y'all, if that fight were to happen, Canelo Alvarez's fan base would be scared to death, because fight fans like to protect their fighters that they love. And the last thing they want to see is Canelo losing another fight. And Canelo, another reason that Canelo don't want to fight David Benavidez is because he knows if David beats him, the Mexican fan base is going to all go right over there to David. That's what they do. Let's keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it a buck. Look how big Canelo Alvarez's fan base is now. Most of Canelo Alvarez's fan base were once the same fan base that were fans of Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Remember, y'all wasn't fucking with Canelo for a long time. Y'all was all about Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. this. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. that. He started fucking up, right? And then they finally fought each other, and Canelo fucking blew him out the water and showed that he wasn't shit. And now all of a sudden, all y'all was Canelo Alvarez's fan. But go back and look at the history when Julio and Canelo was fighting. The same Mexican fan base was rooting for Julio. Now all of a sudden, y'all diehard Mexican, y'all diehard motherfucking David Benavidez fan. Diehard Canelo Alvarez fans. Now all of a sudden, y'all are all diehard Canelo Alvarez fans. Canelo know what's gonna happen when David beat his ass. All of the Mexican fan base are gonna go right to David Benavidez. David ain't getting love from the Mexican fan base like that right now, but he beat Canelo. He'll be the face of the Mexican boxing. He will. He beat Canelo. He will be the face of Mexican boxing. And Canelo Alvarez, he don't want to give that motherfucking crown up. He don't want to step down from the throne. He don't want to take that chance. That's just what it is. That's why Canelo's like, oh, I ain't fighting another Mexican fighter. And a lot of people say, oh, well, Benavidez ain't Mexican. He's Ecuadorian. He is Mexican because his daddy is from Mexico. His mother is Ecuadorian. Yeah, all that shit sounds good, Ed Perez. All that shit sounds good. But Canelo don't believe in himself once again. Canelo don't want to fight him. So you can hype Canelo up and say he does this to David Benavidez and all of that shit. Canelo don't believe it because Canelo refused to fight him on several occasions, and you're going to see him refuse to fight him again. Why is Canelo fighting Jaime Munguia? Jaime Munguia ain't a bigger name than David Benavidez. Jaime Munguia is some trash. That's why Canelo is fighting Jaime Munguia. Matter of fact, Jaime Munguia just got his ass beat by old ass Sergey Derevyanchenko that Jamal Charlo, motherfucking who did beat everybody that whooped up a dumbass knocked him out. Jamal Charlo beat him. Jaime Munguia got the shit beat out of him his last fight against Sergey Derevyanchenko. But Canelo Alvarez is trying to fight him behind the scenes. Somebody get hate on it out of my chat. If you're going to come over here and talk boxing, that's fine. But you're not going to come over here and be no motherfucking troll. Get them up out of my chat. Whoever got a wrench, get hate on it boxing out of my chat. Get them up out of my chat. I got him up out of here. Since y'all took too long, I got him up out of here. Damn, I didn't even know Barroso was fighting this weekend, Nick J. I didn't know that shit. You talking about the 60-year-old man, the one that beat Rolly ass? But yeah, man, like it's crazy to me, man, because I don't roll with none of that fantasy bullshit, bro. Like y'all keep talking about what Canelo will do, but Canelo don't believe he'll do it because Canelo won't fight him. If you offer a fighter, it ain't no excuse for Canelo not fight him. Oh, Barrios. Did she say Barroso or she say Barrios? I kind of scammed at it. Did she say? Yeah, she said Barroso, not Barrios. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't it hasn't been no excuse for Canelo not to take the David Benavidez fight unless you ducking that man. You got offered the most money of your whole entire career that you've ever made. He your mandatory, been your mandatory on 3 different occasions. So what's the fucking excuse? You feel me? What's the excuse? So the old man about to fight O'Hara Davis. O'Hara Davis is the same one that Rolly wouldn't fight. That Rolly was ducking. So yeah, man. Like this shit is just like quit talking to me about Canelo unless he's like me, right? The way I'm a real boxing fan. So if Canelo were to fight David Benavidez and lose, he don't lose no respect. I'm gonna actually have more respect for him taking the fight, win, lose, or draw. But when you try to continue to make excuses to get around the fight, and we know that you ducking him, bro, I don't respect that shit. Nah, it ain't May Romero. It ain't Canelo's team's fault. It's Canelo. Canelo is him. He the man that says who he'll fight and who he won't fight. You know what I'm saying? But right now, it's up to the WBC to show that Canelo's a duck. But see, the WBC, they don't have no integrity. They don't have no integrity when it comes to fighters like Canelo Alvarez. They scared to, you know what I'm saying? They scared to press a line on Canelo because Canelo bringing them in money. Canelo throwing them that money up under the table. Make sure I don't have to fight David Benavidez. Go ahead and keep prolonging that. How the fuck David Benavidez has been the mandatory for this long and you've been getting away with it? It's always another excuse. Well, David got to fight this guy. Well, now you got to fight this guy. Well, David got to do this. And nah, but you just don't want to fight him. Let's just all keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? Let's just all keep it a buck. He's a bad style matchup for you. Horrible style matchup. And he don't want to take a chance in losing another fight. And like I said, he knows what type of matchup styles are bad for him. I've seen a lot of people talking about the Kovalev fight. Bro, Kovalev was fucking washed up when he fought Canelo. And to tell you the truth, I think Kovalev was taking a payday. Go watch that fight, man. That shit, you can look at that fight and tell Kovalev wasn't even trying to, like, it was some funny shit going on in that Kovalev fight. Go watch how Kovalev fought everybody else, and then go watch how he fought Canelo. That shit screamed that, like, you could see that shit and see that Kovalev was taking a payoff. Kovalev said it too. He said, if y'all thought I was gonna fucking beat Canelo in that fight, y'all were stupid. Look at that fight. Kovalev was throwing little pity pat punches. Man, Kovalev don't fight like that. And he was washed up. You know what I'm saying? He said he took it for the money, Jay Gruder. Kovalev said that shit out of his own mouth. Rick 10 says WBC stands for We Back Canelo. Facts, bro. Mauricio Suleiman is a dirty motherfucker, bro. He one of the dirtiest cats in boxing, Mauricio Suleiman. Suleiman don't have no integrity at all. Suleiman is all about that paper. The only one that really run their organization, you know, straight up and down is the IBF. I don't know who runs the IBF, but the IBF, they run their shit right. The rest of these organizations, man, all they do is take for you to have a name and some money, and they're not going to stick to nothing they're supposed to. So it's up to us, the fans, to put pressure on Canelo. But we know that Canelo has a huge fan base, and he's not going to put pressure. I mean, they're not going to put pressure on him. Canelo fans really don't want to see him and Benavidez fight. Now, if they make the fight, everybody's going to pay for it and watch it, right? I ain't going to say pay for it, but everybody's going to watch it. If they make Canelo Alvarez and Benavidez, I'm telling y'all now, that is going to be the biggest fight in boxing. It's going to sell the most pay-per-views in boxing. The live gate is going to be huge. That's a huge fight. But his fans don't want that to happen. Canelo fans don't want that to happen. They know. They terrified of Benavidez just like Canelo terrified of him. Yeah, Canelo owns the sanctioning bodies. Ain't nobody, and them sanctioning bodies ain't going, they don't want no smoke with Canelo. He bring in too much money. Remember back when Canelo was at 160 and they was forcing him to fight Triple G, he said, fuck y'all. Y'all can't force me to do shit, and then drop the belt. Remember, he dropped that belt. Man, the WBC came running and crying to him like a bitch. Oh, we you know, oh, we back Canelo. We're sorry. You know, we Canelo Alvarez is, yeah. He bring in too much money. He got too much power. He got too much power. And that's the thing, man. This boxing is not ran with integrity in no way, shape, or form. Boxing is a dirty business, and that's all it is. That shit is all it is, you know. Boxing really, if you really look at boxing, right, it's probably 90% business and 10% competition. Boxing is 90% business and 10% competition. Because if you throw everything out the window and you made every fighter, right, fight every fighter in the weight divisions, y'all all gotta fight each other. It don't matter how many losses y'all got. It don't, you know what I'm saying? If you put everybody and made everybody fight each other, the motherfucker that you thought was the best probably ain't the best. It'll be very few, if any at all, that'll have an O on their record. You know what I'm saying? If you in this division, if you fighting at 135, if you fighting at 147, if you whatever it may be, you got to fight everybody that's, you know what I'm saying, within the top 10. All y'all got to fight. We don't care what the record is, you know what I'm saying? Unless you injured, we gonna put all of y'all got to fight, you know what I'm saying? Every 3 or 4 months, all of y'all got to fight. Every 3 or 4 months, all of y'all got to fight. The only way you get up out of this shit is if you got a serious injury that you can prove and make all these niggas fights, man. You'll see that this shit is 90% business and 10% competition. And a lot of these fighters ain't what the fuck you think they is. And what I mean by 90% business is a whole bunch of dipping and dodging, and we gonna match up this guy against him, and we gonna match up him against him, and we see this guy over here. Don't nobody know about him. He ain't really got no name, but we'll never put this fighter that everybody know about in the ring with this fighter because, you know, we know to stay with, and then we got this fighter right here, so we're gonna keep him away from different styles a fighter, man. It's a whole bunch of business going on in boxing behind the scene. Yeah. You threw all these niggas out there in the fire. Yeah. I bet you a lot of y'all wouldn't be die hard motherfucking fall out. I'm ready to fight all my boxer fans of all these certain fighters. You know what I'm saying? Y'all will become a fan of the sport. Like, okay, well, fuck it, you know, hey, I just love seeing the best fight the best, but we'll never get that. That's some fantasy shit. And the boxing fan, and the majority of boxing fans now are a younger age, and they don't even understand boxing, you know, like that. They wouldn't even understand that shit. Cause like I said, some of y'all, man, some of y'all look at these fighters is like superheroes and shit. William Old School says, is Canelo, if Canelo loses to Benavidez, he will no longer get huge money, and that's exactly why he won't fight him. But see, the thing is that Canelo and Benavidez, that could be a trilogy type fight. But I think that I really honestly think that Canelo would get beat up so bad in that fight. Now, I don't necessarily think that Benavidez will stop Canelo, because Canelo, he tough, man. He probably got he definitely got one of the best chins in all of boxing, if not the best chin in boxing, right? So he hella tough. So I'm not going to say that he'll get stopped, but I think that he'll get beat up so bad, he probably wouldn't even want to fight him again. Mayo Romero said, what happened to the rematch with Bivol? He didn't want a rematch with Bivol. See, what happened with that is that Bivol told him, since I beat you, right, since everything was on your terms the first fight, right, and you got to fight for all of my straps at my weight division, I'll come down to 168. I want you to put your titles on the line, and we got to fight at 168. So I'm at 175. I'm going to suck myself down to 168, put your straps on the line, and we're going to fight at 168. And Canelo said no. So that lets you know that Canelo didn't want no smoke. Like, you mean to tell me I'm actually telling you I'll come to your division? I got to suck down and wait, and you telling me no? That should be your advantage because I got to suck down and wait. That's why the fight didn't happen. Canelo was like, nope, we got to fight at 175. Why are we going to fight at one? I mean, for what? Are you scared to put your straps on the line? And he didn't want to see, Canelo didn't want to risk losing everything that he had. He was okay. He was okay being able to, challenge for Bivol's titles, but he didn't want to risk putting his shit on the line. Let you know. And don't get me wrong, Canelo a hell of a fighter. Canelo's a hell of a fighter. But like I said, once again, this shit is 90% business and 10% competition. 90% business and 10% competition. He a hell of a fighter. A lot of that shit is business with Canelo. He know who to fight, who not to fight. Is what it is. And, Ricky Williams was happening with it. Salute. So anyway, man, I don't see that fight happening. We got to continue, the real boxing fans got to continue putting the pressure on Canelo. If Canelo go out and fight this motherfucker, sorry-ass Jaime Munguia, don't pay for that shit. Force him to fight David Benavidez. That's the fight that he need to be fighting. Nobody else. Ain't nobody else at 168 he need to be fighting other than David Benavidez. He's done everything that he need to do to prove. He been mandatory on several different occasions. So, yeah. Rick Tim says, Morrell, bro, you haven't seen Morrell fight nobody yet. And I like Morrell a lot. I think Morrell is very dangerous, Rick Tim, but you haven't seen Morrell fight anybody yet to say that he beats everybody. You ain't seen him fight nobody yet. David Benavidez is a real monster. Y'all better stop sleeping on him, dog. I've been telling y'all for the longest time. But anyway, man, I appreciate everybody that came through, showed love. Make sure that y'all hit the like button. If you ain't hit the like button, smash the like button. It's free, everybody. And I will be back cooking, man. And y'all already know how I do. Salute to everybody. There you go, talking that boxing again. And I'm gone, y'all.